In a world obsessed with youthful appearances and cosmetic procedures, what happens to the woman who chooses to age naturally with elegance, dignity, and self-respect? In this conversation, I'm inviting you to go beyond the mirror and rediscover the power of cultivating beauty that time cannot touch. Whether you've had work done or not, this episode is a celebration of inner radiance, self-worth, and ageless magnetism. I'll be sharing truths from my own journey, the wisdom in my Becoming the Magnificent Me book, and encouragement for every woman who wants to elevate her confidence without going under the knife. If you've ever felt pressure to fix your face or feared becoming invisible as you age, this one is definitely for you.
Becoming the magnificent me, empowered, strong, and gracefully, with poise and elegance endlessly. I am who I was born to be.
Welcome to Becoming, Conversations in Elegance and Empowerment, where we explore living with purpose, grace, and confidence. I'm Senée, your host, author, and transformation guide. This isn't just a podcast, it's a conversation, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Visit becomingpublishing.com to grab your free guide, Exquisitely Dealing with Stress, and join the conversation by leaving a comment. Now, let's dive into today's topic. It's my birthday week, and I'm reflecting over the last 12 months as I plan for the next year, like I typically do. This has been a challenging year, with me spending nearly half of it dealing with pain and waiting to go into the hospital and have surgery for the first time in my life. In spite of that, I am very aware of how blessed I am, and my gratitude practice has been in high gear these last few weeks. More than 2 decades ago, I bought my first tiara. The lady in the store told me that it was a good time because they always stock up on them for the little girls at Halloween. I was buying it to wear on my birthday. I didn't do it because I saw someone else do it or because it was trendy. I did it because it was something I really wanted to do for me. I'm going to talk more about authenticity soon, but this was one of those common moments of being authentic in my life. Ever since then, I have worn one on my birthday, and anytime I'm feeling less than royal, to remind myself of who I truly am, a person of high moral character, values, and integrity. Of course, I have also worn one when doing an appearance or book signing for my brand, and last year I wore a much larger crown for appearances and speaking engagements as a Miss US Queen. When I've been in a mood to not be as easily recognized, I have worn my crown ring as a reminder to myself. When you're a high-value woman, you don't need a crown, flashy clothes, or jewelry to get attention. My whole life I've had children point at me and call me a princess or Princess Barbie. Strangers have called me a princess and a Southern belle. It's happened a lot during my adult life, and I'm still getting unsolicited attention. About a year ago, my husband and I were at one of our favorite date night spots that is primarily a college hangout. It was packed that night, so we made our way out through the crowd to the patio outside. After we sat down, my husband told me that one guy stopped him and said, "Dude, you have the hottest girl in here." I was flattered but laughed because I knew I was probably the oldest girl in there and probably old enough to be his mother. My husband went to the men's room and a guy came up and started talking to me. I didn't think anything of it since I talk to strangers all the time. He got this look on his face when my husband walked up and said something to the effect that he was hitting on me and my husband was getting in the way. Once we showed him our wedding rings, he put both his hands up and backed away. I laughed again because I had no idea I was being hit on or found attractive. It's just as flattering when women pay me compliments. We were at a local music festival last summer, and I thought I heard a woman's voice say she liked my top. It was very dark inside the venue, and I couldn't see anyone, but I said thank you. A few minutes later, my husband walked away and returned to tell me that a woman up front told him to tell me that she thought I was very beautiful and that she needed me to know that. That same night, another young woman and her male friends came up to us, and she said that she noticed me from across the way, that she loved my outfit and couldn't believe how toned my legs were. She said she was looking for cellulite but didn't see any. It gets even crazier. I was laying in the bed in the surgery prep room waiting for my surgery. The anesthesiologist doctor came in and introduced herself, asked me a couple of questions, typed something into the computer, and left. The next thing I knew, a group of ladies with very bubbly, high energy walked in with her. She introduced them as her anesthesiology team. The first thing they said to me was, "Okay, you don't look 52. You have to tell us everything you're doing. What do you eat? What products do you use? We want to know everything." I told them a couple of things I do. Then they looked at my husband, who was next to my bed, and said, "You must have him on the anti-aging thing too." I replied, "No, he's 33, a jiu-jitsu fighter, and doesn't need my help." The next thing I knew, they were cheering and giving me high fives. A couple of years ago, it was requested that I write a book about aging gracefully, and that's in the works. For now, I want to encourage you that you can be fabulous at any age. Let's talk about it. If you're ready for more than just inspiration, if you want tailored transformational support on your journey, visit becomingpublishing.com to explore my private coaching and guided programs. You don't have to do this alone. I want to start by saying that what you do with your body is your choice. I'm offering an insight that you may find intriguing or just entertaining. I'm not offering judgment or telling you what to do. So let's explore this topic. We live in a culture obsessed with image. Social media filters, injectables, chiseled jawlines, and for what? To delay time or to distract ourselves from what we fear we've lost? Real beauty, the kind that captivates without saying a word, isn't something injected or tugged. It's cultivated, and it starts within. A 2016 study published in the Journal of Health Psychology found that cosmetic or appearance enhancements are common in midlife women ages 45 to 65. Their attitudes toward cosmetic surgery are associated with appearance satisfaction, fear of negative social evaluation, and internal pressures. A literature review published in 2021 by Plastic and Reconstructive Surgery Global Open found that cosmetic surgery usage globally continues to rise, especially in regions with strong aesthetic norms. When I was a newspaper reporter, I once did a story about Botox and cosmetic surgery. I interviewed 2 or 3 doctors in the industry separately. I asked them all the same question: why can't we just grow old gracefully? Every one of them laughed at me. I didn't think it was a funny question. I seriously wanted to know the answer. I realized that they had businesses to promote and protect, but I also knew there had to be other alternatives to going under the knife or needle. When I prodded and asked them if there were any natural things we could do to age gracefully, they just said to eat fruits and vegetables and drink water. Quote, "Diet is very important, and stay away from those things that are bad for you. People who are healthy, who exercise regularly, and have a good diet have good-looking skin," one doctor told me. I've been on the holistic healing bandwagon since 1999 when I was working at my first newspaper in Tyler, Texas, and got the flu. It was during Thanksgiving week, and thank goodness a family friend lived nearby who took me to see a holistic practitioner. He did kinesiology, which is muscle testing on me, and I was a believer. Kinesiology tests many areas of the body, including the organs. It looks at how the body is affected by food and other substances, and it's even used by psychologists to reveal a person's unconscious belief systems and determine how well one handles emotional, mental, and spiritual stress. I discovered during this process that the reason I love holistic healing so much is because I'm being the co-creator and manifesting my health. I'm not looking for something or someone outside of myself to fix or heal me. I'm actively working with my body to heal it. I determined in my 20s that I wasn't getting any elective surgeries or procedures. I know a lot of women who have, and that's their business. For me, that wasn't a consideration. And now, after having my first surgery, it isn't even a consideration at all. I will never go through another surgery again. The anesthesiology team ladies even said when they were asking me for my beauty secrets that they knew I hadn't had any work done. Obviously, it was my first surgery ever. Plus, I look natural because I have all my original equipment. I have believed for many years that mindset plays an important role in the aging process. After talking with many older people in their 70s, 80s, and 90s over the years, and judging from my own experience, I am convinced that people always feel young in their heads. That's the real them, the spirit that never ages or dies. The problem tends to be that their bodies may not allow them to do all the things they think they can or want to do. Taking care of the body will allow us to feel and function like a younger person and do things we desire easily and effortlessly. That's why I'm always encouraging my young adult clients to start taking care of their bodies now so that they don't encounter these problems in the future. Research by Becca Levy at Yale University supports my theory by showing that positive beliefs about aging may lead to longer life and better health. In fact, people holding positive age beliefs lived 7.5 years longer on average. These findings support the idea that mindset and internal belief systems matter in how gracefully and healthfully people age. Now, we all know there are differences between men and women. Men can age naturally and still be found attractive to women. We don't mind lines on a man's face, and some of us think that makes them look wiser and more mature. However, Wikipedia points out that women face more pressure than men to maintain youthful beauty. The term double standard of aging describes how women's age-related changes are judged more harshly, socially and culturally, than men's. Another difference is that men are visually oriented. I don't fault them for that, but that can put a lot of stress on women. I once heard a man say that his wife was trying a new workout technique and that he fully supported her doing anything that made her look good. I said nothing because I wasn't part of the conversation, but it deeply bothered me. I wondered if all men felt this way and if they will discard a wife who has internal beauty but can't sustain the outer beauty that they covet. Honestly, I was afraid to ask those questions out loud in that moment. Now, I'm feeling a little bolder, so next, we'll look at some research and statistics. Gratitude season is in full swing, and this episode is brought to you by Becoming Grateful, the Elegant Woman's 45-day gratitude experience, a 3-tier guided experience designed for women ready to reclaim joy, peace, and emotional wealth. Whether you want to journal at your own pace, listen on the go, or dive into a private breakthrough session, there's a path for you. Visit becomingpublishing.com to learn more or tap the link in the show notes. For a limited time only, use coupon code podcast10 at checkout for $10 off the self-guided gratitude journal experience. Back to the question of, will men discard women who lose outer beauty? While cultural narratives suggest that men prefer younger women, it's more complex in reality. While some classical theories and popular beliefs assume that men prioritize physical attractiveness, more recent empirical studies show that the effect of age or appearance in partner preference is weaker than often assumed when other traits such as kindness, competence, and shared values are present. In a 2023 study published in Human Nature on the link between age and partner preferences, researchers stated, quote, empirically, evidence on age effects on partner preferences is mixed. We found no or only negligible age effects on kindness, supportiveness, attractiveness, financial security, education, intelligence, end quote. These findings suggest when internal virtues such as character, compatibility, and confidence are present, the outer beauty factor loses some of its grip. A 2017 Pew Research Center study found that long-term relationships and marriages thrive more on emotional intimacy, shared values, and respect than on physical appearance. A Psychology Today article published in 2020 highlighted that men often express deeper attraction to women who exude confidence and warmth, especially as they age. The point of all these findings is that the right man isn't looking to trade you in, he's looking to grow with you. If someone only valued you for your outer shell, they were never worthy of the brilliance you hold inside. When we believe that beauty ends at 40, we stop seeing ourselves. However, when we are convinced that beauty evolves, matures, and deepens, then we give ourselves permission to keep blooming. Again, I'll say it. I consider the real person to be the one that is inside, the spirit that never ages and never dies. Instead of focusing on the outward beauty, I invite you to consider this. Think of the most radiant woman you know. Is it her wrinkle-free face that inspires you, or her warmth, confidence, and grace? I was having major issues with my own definition of personal beauty before competing in the National Woman of Achievement and Miss US pageants, which I'm writing all about in my upcoming book, Becoming the Magnificent Me. I was pretty confident that I had internal beauty, but I still questioned my external beauty. I felt more like the chubby, not cute friend with a good personality than I did a national beauty queen, or any kind of beauty queen for that matter. I realized during that process that I was good enough to be part of that pageant process. No matter how much I was doubting my outer beauty or having other women say that I wasn't beautiful enough to even be considered, I knew I was beautiful on the inside. Let me be clear, inner beauty isn't about ignoring outer beauty. It's about prioritizing what lasts. Your emotional radiance, your joy, your compassion, your wisdom. These are what make people remember you long after they've forgotten the dress you wore or the skin cream you used. A study I recently discovered puts all this into perspective. A 2023 study published in Aging found that 6 women with an average age of 57.9 completed a methylation-supported diet and lifestyle program for 8 weeks. The intervention consisted of a program that included diet, sleep, exercise, and relaxation guidance, supplemental probiotics, phytonutrients, and nutritional coaching. All but one woman saw biological age reductions from 1.22 years to 11.01 years, as measured by DNA methylation clocks through blood tests. This suggests that, at least in a small sample, internal lifestyle shifts can influence biological markers of aging in women. While you may not be willing to make lifestyle changes at this point, there are ways that you can cultivate beauty right now that no line or wrinkle can erase. Here's an inner beauty practice that you can start this very moment. Speak to yourself with love every day, not just when you think you look good. Practice gratitude for your life story and what your body has carried you through. Engage your mind. Read, learn, reflect. Stay curious and passionate about something. Be kind when no one is watching, especially to yourself. Carry yourself with good posture and grace. It radiates self-worth. Nurture your spiritual life because peace is always beautiful. In Becoming the Magnificent Me, I share my own journey of falling in love with who I am, not just what I look like. It was when I stopped chasing perfection and embraced my real self that everything changed. If this episode speaks to your soul, share it with another woman who needs a reminder that her beauty isn't aging, it's evolving. If you're ready to begin your journey, I'd love to walk beside you through my programs or coaching offerings. Aging gracefully is not merely about resisting change. It's about aligning your internal world, your beliefs, values, self-talk, and practices so that external aging becomes a narrative of beauty, dignity, and evolution, not defeat or loss. I have said it for nearly a decade in my work that our outsides, our looks, and how we project ourselves to others eventually match our insides. These scientific studies are proof of that statement. Coco Chanel once said, quote, "Elegance is when the inside is as beautiful as the outside," end quote. The most powerful beauty tip I can offer you is this: be deeply, unapologetically you. Thank you so much for spending time with me on Becoming, Conversations in Elegance and Empowerment. Was there something in this episode that resonated with you? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you're ready to take your personal growth to the next level, visit becomingpublishing.com to explore my exclusive coaching programs and resources tailored for ambitious women like you. There you can also download your free guide, Exquisitely Dealing with Stress. If you found value in this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend who's ready to create the magnificent life and relationships they truly deserve. Until next time, stay elegant, stay empowered.
Becoming